In this tutorial, we will discuss ACO Measure 17, Tobacco Use Screening and Cessation Intervention. Tobacco use assessment and counseling is most easily done during the check-in process. We recommend doing this at every visit in order to provide the most opportunities for intervention and to comply with regulatory reporting. First, click on the plus sign in the Vitals and Measurement section, then click Comprehensive Intake Form. Here you will find the correct power forms to document social history elements like tobacco use. The comprehensive intake form contains several subforms that are helpful in guiding patient care. Tobacco use can be documented in the social history form. Select Social History on the left. Double-click the Details section of this form to the right of the word tobacco. If you have not removed the Assessment column from this form, do not use the drop-down in this column to document tobacco use. Please ask your practice manager how to remove the Assessment column in this section if it appears on your screen. This column does not count for assessment or cessation and will often disrupt quality reporting. Click on the appropriate radio button to describe the patient's current use of tobacco. Fill in details regarding frequency and volume below. In order to get meaningful use credit for tobacco use assessment, you must click an option in this first section, even if the patient has never used tobacco. In this example, this patient is a current smoker. Select the type of tobacco in the next section. Details regarding volume, frequency, and duration of tobacco use can also be documented. In this example, the patient has smoked 1 pack a day for 15 years. If a patient has never used tobacco or has used tobacco in the past, we suggest clicking the option None next to Previous Treatment and No next to Ready to Change. Meaningful use credit for tobacco cessation counseling is best documented by clicking in this section as well as the next section labeled Ready to Change. Select an option in the section labeled Previous Treatment and in the section labeled Ready to Change, even if the person is not currently using tobacco. Click OK once all of those sections are completed. The items entered will appear in the Details section of the tobacco assessment form for review. A time and date stamp will appear next to the Details section that shows when this section was last updated. We suggest updating tobacco use and cessation with each visit. To update the tobacco use history, right-click over the Details section of the tobacco line and a drop-down list will appear on the right. Click on Add Tobacco History. At a minimum, click an option in the Use, Previous Treatment, and Ready to Change sections of this form as demonstrated previously. In this example, this patient quit successfully using nicotine replacement and is doing well right now, so she is not ready to change. Select OK to save the entries and update tobacco use history. Documenting current tobacco use automatically triggers a problem of tobacco user on the problem list. Completing this tobacco use assessment may trigger the printing and delivery of educational materials on quitting to give to the patient. This education, as well as communication with the provider, will also help remind the provider to counsel regarding tobacco cessation. Please refer to Training on Printing Patient Education for details on how to access patient education within the EMR and satisfy the meaningful use requirement. Please note that selecting Mark as Reviewed will not count as your meaningful use measure for tobacco use assessment.